Let's start with section B. How do guard cells regulate opening and closing of stomatal pores? So in this we have to write how guard cells regulate opening and closing of stomatal pores. So first of all, you should know that the stomatal pores are actually opened or closed by the function of guard cells. Now, how guard cells are made up of? The guard cells are very thicker on the inner side and very thinner on the outer side. So that's why they are able to absorb a lot of water. The guard cells first of all swell when water flow into them from the surrounding, and then they get curved out due to thick inner walls and produce a pore in between. So there is a pore in between which can exchange gases, and similarly the pore closes when guard cells lose water to their surrounding cells and shrink back to the original position. So that's how guard cells regulate opening and closing of a stomatal pore. You can write the answer from this para if you want to. Then moving on to 16th question, it says 2 gram of ferrous sulfate crystals were heated in a hard glass test tube and observations recorded. What type of odor is absorbed on heating ferrous sulfate crystal? So right answer for this is it actually produce sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So there will be a burning smell of sulfur here. So in A part you can write sulfur as of sulfur. In B part, name the products obtained on heating ferrous sulfate crystal. So in this we get ferric oxide, we get sulfur dioxide, and we get sulfur trioxide. So three things are there. Then question number C. What type of reaction is taking place? It is decomposition reaction, because in this we have only one reactant and we get many products out here. So these are the answers for all. Moving on to the OR part, why metals are not found in their free state generally. So as you know that most of the metals are actually in their combined state. Why? Because they react very fastly or readily, you can say. So you can, in this you can write it is because their position is above hydrogen in the chemical reactivity series and hence readily react with air, water, carbon dioxide and any other substance. So therefore they are found in the form of their sulfides, carbonates or oxides. So therefore their metals are not found in their free state. They are always in combined state. Combined state means that they will be like reactive with many other elements or the substances. Now question number B in this same question, it says if a strip of aluminium with scratched clean surface is dipped into an aqueous solution of copper sulfate for little time, surface of the strip become brownish. What is the reason for this? Write the balanced chemical equation for this reaction. So when a strip of aluminium is actually dipped into aqueous solution of copper sulfate, it will form aluminium sulfate and copper. So the copper that will deposit on the surface of aluminium strip so that it will become brownish in color. So answer is here for the first one and the second one. You can read this once by stopping this video in between. So here we have answer for this. It says when a strip of aluminium is dipped into an aqueous solution of copper sulfate, it will displace copper and forms aluminium sulfate. So this is a type of displacement reaction where aluminium is displacing copper and forming aluminium sulfate and copper. So let's move on to question number 17. It says write the chemical formula for washing soda. How may it be obtained from baking soda? Name an industrial use of washing soda other than washing clothes. So let's find out what are the what is the chemical formula of washing soda first. So it is sodium carbonate dot 10H2O. 10H2O represents water of crystallization here, and the second part says how may it be obtained from baking soda. So you have to write how we can get washing soda from baking soda. So we have to take baking soda and heat it. We will get washing soda from it, and we will get H2O, and we will get carbon dioxide gas. So here we have chemical reaction for same. Then in C part we have to name an industrial use of washing soda other than washing clothes. So it could be in the manufacturing of glass. So you can write that washing soda is used in the manufacturing of glass here. Moving on to question number 18, we have to study this diagram and we have to identify the process which organism uses the above method of reproduction, and how is the above method different from the process of fragmentation. So from the diagram it is very clear that this is binary fission, and this process is in amoeba, and binary fission actually occurs in unicellular organism, whereas fragmentation occurs in the simple multicellular organism where they break down into many fragments. So that's how this process is different. You can write down the answers from here. So these are the answers for given questions. Moving on to the next, it says how do organisms whether reproduce asexually or sexually maintain a constant chromosome number through several generations, explained with the help of suitable example. So here in asexual reproduction, only mitotic divisions are involved, thus the chromosome number remain the same in asexual. So chromosome numbers are actually remains constant here. Why? Because we have mitotic division here. In sexual reproduction, as you know, that organisms produce gametes through a meiosis division. So therefore, we don't have reduction in the number of chromosomes or increase in the number of chromosomes. Like in humans, the parents, father and mother both have 46 or 23 pairs of chromosomes. In the gametes, the sperm and egg both have the number of chromosomes 23 when the sperm and the egg fuse. The zygote has then 46 or 23 46 number or 23 pair of chromosomes. So therefore the chromosomes remain the same. You can write down the answer from here. Now moving on to the next question. Starting from question number 19, it says out of the elements H1, Be4, Na11, magnesium 12, write the pair of elements having similar chemical properties. So out of these four, we have H as 1, hydrogen as 1 and sodium as 11. So the valency for hydrogen is 1 and sodium is 1. Therefore the first pair of element is hydrogen and sodium. For barium, we have 4, that means the valency is 2, and for magnesium Mg, again we have valency as 2 because 2, 8, 2, so the valency is 2, so magnesium and Be is to have same chemical properties. For the first one, it is H and sodium, and we have Be and Mg. The second one, state the group number of each pair. So for H1 and Na1 11, it is group number 1, and as we have magnesium and barium, so it will be group number 2 because we have valency 2. Now the third one, it says name another element belonging to each of these groups. So in group 1 we have potassium, in group 2 we have calcium. So that's all for question number 90, and you can note down the answers if you want to from this para. Question number 20 says, what are covalent compounds? Why are they different from ionic compounds? List 3 characteristic properties. So here we need to tell what covalent compounds are. So covalent compounds are those compounds which are formed by sharing of electrons. Like in the case of carbon-carbon bonds, they are actually having covalent bonds. So sharing of electron is there between two atoms, so thus we can say that they are covalent bonds. Now the second part says, why are they different from ionic compounds? Is in ionic compounds, the ionic compounds are formed by the transference of electrons, while in the case of covalent compound there is sharing of electrons. Now we have to list three characteristics properties. So first is that they have very low melting and boiling point. The second is they are generally insoluble in water. Third you can write is they do not conduct electricity. So if you want to note down again, you can note down from this para. We have all the answers for it. First is why, what are covalent bonds. Second is how they are different from ionic compounds. Then the third is characteristic of covalent compounds. So that's all for question number 20. Now in 21, it says, why does the sun appear reddish early in the morning? Will this phenomenon be absorbed by an observer on the moon? Justify your answer with a reason. So as you know, in the morning, the sun is very near to the horizon. So sunlight reaches us after covering a very longer distance and through thick layer of atmosphere. So that after that, the most of the blue light and other light of shorter wavelengths are scattered away by the particles in the atmosphere. So therefore, the light that reaches us is of longer wavelength, such as red light. Thus, therefore, we can see that the sun appears reddish early in the morning. So, will this phenomena be observed by an observer on the moon? So, this phenomena will not be observed by an observer on the moon because of the absence of the atmosphere on the moon. So, you have to write, as there is no atmosphere on the moon, so it can't be absorbed from moon. So, that's the answer for question 21. You can note down this part from this para. Question number 22 says, suggest three contraceptive methods to control the size of human population, which is essential for health and prosperity of a country. State the basic principle involved in each case. So in this we have to write about three methods. So the first one could be barrier method or mechanical method, is it can be used to prevent the meeting of sperms and ova. And second one is chemical method, where you can take oral pills to change the hormonal balance of the female partner so that the eggs are not released. The third is surgical method, where it can be used to block the vas deferens in males or the fallopian tube in females to prevent the transfer of sperms or eggs, hence there won't be any fertilization. So these are the three methods you have. You can note down if you want to. Question number 23. It says, draw the following diagram in which a ray of light is incident on a concave convex mirror. On your answer sheet, show the path of this ray after reflection in each case. So in the first one, as you can see, there is a ray of line from focal point. Now it will be a parallel to a focal principal axis. So you have to draw like this. In the second one, it will get reflected back with respect to the principal axis, parallel to principal axis. Then in the third one, it will be reflected back again and forming incident reflected angle. So it will be angle I and angle R. So that's all for question number 23. That's all you have to draw in question 23. Then in question 24, we have state the function of a fuse in a circuit. How is it connected in the domestic circuit? So it actually prevents damage to the appliances and the circuit due to overloading. And remember, it is always connected in series in the domestic circuit. In the second part, it says electric fuse of rating 3 ampere is connected in a circuit in which an electric iron of power 1 kilovolt is connected, which operates at 220 volt. What would happen? Explain. So we have P power here in kilowatt. So we have to convert it into watt divided by V. V in this case is 220. So 1000 watt over 220 watt. It would be 4.55 ampere. So what would happen here is the electric current flowing required by the electric iron is more than the current that can flow through the fuse without its melting. Hence the fuse wire will melt, the circuit will break, and the electric iron will not work in this case because the current is greater than the electric fuse rating, that is 3 ampere. So if there will be huge current flowing through it, it will melt down and there won't be any current in the circuit. So here we have solution of question number 24. You can note down if you want to. This is all about question number 24. Then we have question number 25 or part of question number 24. It says list the factors on which the resistance of a conductor in the shape of wire depends. Only in case of resistance of a wire depends, so you can write length. Length is directly proportional to resistance and area is inversely proportional to the resistance. Then we have wire metals good conductor of electricity, whereas glass is a bad conductor of electricity. As you know that metals have large number of free electrons and they have low resistivity, therefore they are good conductor, whereas glass is a bad conductor because it has no free electrons and its resistivity is higher. So therefore this is the reason behind why metals are used in the conduction of electricity and not glass. Then next one is why alloys commonly used in electrical heating devices. Alloys are commonly used in electrical heating devices due to their high resistivity and high melting point, which produces more heat. So therefore they are used in electrical heating devices. So that's all for question number 24 or part, and you can note down the answers if you want to. These are the answers to question number 24. And that's all for section B.